Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Darksiders. I'm your host, VGMKoren, and in the last episode we stuck our sword in a bunch of shadow portals for this gate. So, let's go ahead and talk to him.
Ancestors praise you.
Well, he is very impressed with our sword sticking abilities. Now, if you haven't noticed, yes, we've gotten our first weapon enhancement. Now, what this does is it allows you to socket an enhancement in a weapon, and I'm going to go ahead and show that real quick as soon as I can remember. Ah, yes, here it is. This enhancement, Ravager, will, first of all, it'll make your sword glow purple, and second, it will make your environmental attacks, so like picking up cars and chucking them at people, do more damage. So this is pretty great because, well, actually, no, it's actually one of the most useless enhancements in the game, but the system is pretty great. Ravager, not so much. But it's the only one we have right now since we spent all of our money buying the scythe from Volgrim. And oh no, bat! Just bat, not bats. Oh no, there are bats. More than one, anyway. So we're on our way to the next area of the game, which is actually, artistically, one of my favorite areas. And so what we're going to be doing is just, like, sprinting over there. You may notice that there's blue down there, a blue crystal. We can't do anything about that yet, but remember it. Or don't. Or remind me about it when I get a thing that can make that thing go away. This can only be so subtle. Anyways, yes, this is very much a Metroid or Darksiders, Legend of Zelda type game where you will see doors and puzzles that you can't possibly do right now. And we've gotten locked in a room. Now this, I think, is a great time to show off the perfect counter technique. So if you... that was obviously really bad, but it still counts. If you guard anytime within the general vicinity of when they're about to hit you, you will counterattack and do a very damaging attack. You will also knock everyone else back. It's a great move, and you should probably be using it, especially now. I kind of wish they had started you with a game with it, because by this point in my first playthrough I was really used to dodging everything, and so I never really used the counterattack that much, which was definitely a mistake. So, like always, you can use magic whenever you really want. It's not worth it trying to save for bosses or anything like that. Just go ahead and use it and have fun with it. And don't worry about saving it, because most bosses actually won't even really be affected by magic. But you will want a few different spells, and I'll pick those up as I get more souls. For now, though, I think that's all the enemies, and we can move on. Like those shadow doors. So where are we now? We're in a tunnel. We're in a tunnel that's creaky. We're in the broken stair. This area is great. I really enjoy it. Not just because they are bats. But, I mean, bats are a major contributing factor to my like of an area or not. So this area, it is one of the most devastated from the apocalypse, and I'm not sure if that is snow or ash on the ground. I assume it is snow, and this kind of is your cold area, but I mean, it's not icy at all. Anyways, we can see that there's a Volgrim icon here, so we're going to go ahead and down and go find him, because you always want to find Volgrim locations, and the reason for that will soon become clear. That's after the first dungeon that you find out why. And we're going to ignore all the zombies to punch a treasure chest in the face. I love that mechanic. It's just, everything in this game is just so over the top. How do you open treasure chests? You punch them. How do you, open those demon gates with eyeballs? You kill them. Here we have another skull shard, which is, instead of a piece of heart, you've got skull containers. Everything this game has is like a 17-year-old's like, dream of a mature Zelda, like an action-y mature Zelda. It's kind of amazing. So once you've got that, you want to go over and talk to Vulgrim and buy something from him. So a new Vulgrim location has been added to the Chronicle, and we will... We'll trade our artifact, and we'll go ahead and pick up Weapon Master here.
You are as wise.
This is an art enchantment, and it increases the damage your weapon does. So, in addition to that, we're going to put get a bunch of different combos, or a combo. Can I afford anything else? No, I'm going to just save up after that.
What would you ask of this home?
Oh, you are not humble. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and enchant... Oop, that's the wrong button. My D-pad is a little finicky today, apparently. We're going to go ahead and give that Ravager to our great Scythe, so I still have it. And put the new one... I don't remember what it's called already. Excellent. But we're going to put that on our sword so we do more damage and kill enemies faster. Some people might argue I should have done this in reverse and put it on the Scythe, since the Scythe inherently does less damage, and I should try and make up for that. But you're probably right. So, congratulations. But I can't go back on my word now. So here we have our very first building, which is a lie, because this is not our first building. But it's a nice building. I like it. Do you like it? You should like it. Is there anything down here? No. And more enemies. I've been talked to, by a friend watching that they don't really understand the story that's going on. And, honestly, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. When War showed up, Heaven and Hell were already fighting. And, you know, he couldn't have been responsible. But for some reason he's being blamed. And that's just kind of how it is. The game is not particularly concerned about telling you its story. It's more concerned about, you know, demons, blood, gore, skull containers, and stabbing things. Which could be bad, could be good. One of the new sword techniques I got here was this game's equivalent of Stinger or a charge attack. And it's actually not that great in comparison with those moves because you don't move very far. But it's still a good one to have. Now, when you're flying around on bats, as I am right now, if you look down, I would have died if I hadn't come back over here. So, always be careful not to fling yourself off an edge. And it just doesn't work. I mean, being a giant hero, throwing yourself off a cliff, no. Those two things usually aren't, like, related unless... You know, I mean, Shadow of the Colossus, you kind of throw yourself off of monsters, or they make you throw yourself off of them, and then you die. So I guess it doesn't work there either. And oh hey, look who it is. It's our friend, Stabby Face. Stabby Face with the claws. Enemies in this game don't have traditional names. Now, you might be thinking, and I'm thinking, did I miss a chest back there? Because I totally saw one. In any case, we're going to go run back and find him. If I can figure out which way back is. Oh, I can't actually go back. So, you could either run from this guy. I don't think you can run from this guy. I think I'm lying about that. I think you have to kind of wait for him to get over here and fight him. So that's what I'm going to do. And he's really interested in throwing cars at me. I'm just not interested in throwing the bat. Well, let's see. Did they land? No. Alright, so this is kind of a mini-boss. This guy is not a normal type of enemy for a long time yet, and why I picked up the weapon enhancement that I did. Because he takes a lot of damage when you don't have War's apocalyptic form. And yes, you can stun him with the horn, so the horn continues to be useful. The horn is almost always a stagger onto any enemy. And now... Actually, that guy took a lot less damage than I remember. Maybe it's just the weapon enhancement. So, he cut off his arms and snapped his neck. If that's not a kill move, I don't know what is. Well, you could have just, like, stabbed it. I'm going to go check. I'm going to go back to where I was and check if there was a treasure chest real quick. Alright, I'm not entirely sure how I missed this, but this is our third skull container, or Well, we've almost got enough of a skull to contain our life, which I guess would just be a green force. Anyways, we're going to run back over there now. Alright, so we are back, and we're about to get into our first building, which will demonstrate how to use a new item in the game. Like I said, just artistically, this is one of my favorite areas in the game, and it's capped off by one of my favorite sequences in the game. But you're just going to have to wait and find out if you want to see what that is. So, here we have some zombies, and what's that new strange structure in the background? What could it be? Is it a sword? Is it a plane? No! It's a door! It's an eye door, to be precise, and it closes its eye whenever you get close to it, so you can't just stab it with your sword like you've been stabbing everything else. So that means we're going to have to go find an alternative way of opening that thing. I wonder what we could use. So we go down into the building to just, you know, explore. This building actually gave me a lot of trouble when I was first playing the game. I don't know why, I just kept getting confused and turned around, and I'm kind of expecting the same thing to happen. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to get confused and turn around and then just like spend 4 hours in this building. But with any luck, it won't be 4 hours that I spend in here. So as always, the scythe is really good for area of effect attacks, and that's all you really need to know about. So we're about to come across a new treasure chest type here, if you're looking at that giant chest like I am while I, you know, finish these guys off. So what this treasure chest you do not open by punching it in its face. Instead, you just have a tantrum on it. So we get a beholder's key. So apparently that door is a beholder, and it's now we have the key to open it. Maybe that'll let it, you know, I don't know. So yeah, I got really confused by this area, and looking back on it, I must have been really dumb. I mean, that's the only explanation I have. Oh no, I already did get turned around. Right, I think I forgot that I'd gone down 2 flights, and just didn't come around to this staircase for a long time. But thankfully for you, I've learned. Alright, so we have a key and a beholder. What do? Oh, of course! We stab it in the eye! Because everything in this game is about stabbing and killing things.
This way!
It's nothing. Some demon trick.
I know what I saw.
He's right.
Uriel.
It's there, beneath the stench of this place. You can sense it, ancient. From neither the White City nor the Black Depths. Something lost between.
Hellgod, to arms!
Slay him!
So for some reason, War got sneaky and then took an angelic mount. This is actually a really weird and fun part of the game. And, I don't know, it's just very bizarre. It's a... like... I don't know what to say about this thing. It's weird, it's a lot of fun. Achievement hunters, be aware. You can miss on these, you can miss an achievement here. There's an achievement for getting a total number of kills in this area on top of this mount, and it is very, very difficult and easy to miss. So be aware of that and try and shoot down everything. I personally don't have the achievement, but I'm probably not going to get it either, so yeah. Apparently War, you know, thought the best thing he could do was steal a gigantic griffin, because, you know, who really doesn't want one of these? I want one of these. Alright, it's just like a classic level of Star Fox. Well, not exactly. Star Fox is probably a lot faster. Star Fox is a lot faster, I should say. Now with these big guys, you kind of just want to You need to take out their giant balls. And then, after that, you can easily take them down. In Apocalypse... Well, I know I keep talking about this game's hard mode, so you know what? I'm going to stop. And whoa! Those lightning balls can go through different objects in the terrain. That is a classic game designer trick. Basically, if there's no way that you're going to interact with something, there's no real reason to give it mass. Because, well, why should you? I mean, you're never going to get there. It's just going to take up extra resources. So we continue riding our angelic griffin over towards something. I'm sure we're going somewhere. Or you know where we're going, right? Well, either way, these guys, they have their shields up, so I don't know how I'm supposed to kill them, actually. That's my bad. Do not let these homing balls hit you. Ooh, that was close. I almost did a very bad thing there. Okay. The game expects you to learn very, very quickly on the job what you need to be doing. I hope you can, because, well, I had a lot of trouble my first couple of times doing this part. Oh, God. Most of your kills are going to come, if you're hunting for that achievement, most of your kills are going to come from the little guys. And that's who you should really be focusing. My shots just are going really wide. They're not going where the cursor says they're going to go. So those guys are going to escape, because I don't feel like getting hit by them or, you know, ramming them. And we go into another cave. Like I said, this is just a really fun and bizarre interlude between the rest of the game. It's a little slow. I actually feel like I could be going faster. And whoa! Look at all those things. Look at all of them. They're everywhere. I don't know even what they are. And that gate may have been our friend, because, you know, he did. I think he just punched some angels. I'm actually not sure. Oh wow, I took out that stalactite. Once again, things I didn't know I could do. And oh my god, what is that? That might be a bat. I really hope that's not a bat, but that might be a bat. In any case, here we have the evolution, natural evolution of bats. Fire bats! Just when you thought bats couldn't get any worse, they added fireballs to their capabilities. I mean, that would be awful, like, bats with echolocation able to target you with fire. Who would not, like, just hide in their room forever if they had a fire bat chasing them? More massive swarms of enemies that you should try and take out as many of you as you can. Words. They're difficult. Don't get hit by the spikes down below. This area will give you a whole lot of... What will this area give you? Souls! Like, war's just on a massacre in this area. You should take as much advantage of it as you can. Kill as many enemies as you can. And, like I said, the achievement is very difficult to get. However, this achievement is missable. Once you do this section, you cannot come back. So, if you're playing this game, do not, when you are achievement hunting, unless you want to come back. Oh god, it's a demon bat or something. Oh no, is that the boss? Well, let's go ahead and shoot it. Him? Her? I don't know. That is the biggest... This is what bats turn into when they evolve. When they become Pokemon and evolve, this is a bat. So don't get hit by it. You can't really... Oh. That wasn't a boss. It was a boss, but it wasn't the boss. So now that is out of the way, surprisingly... I'm not entirely sure if it's better to do charged attacks on these guys or regular attacks. Probably regular attacks, since your charged attacks, just like Star Fox, go a little bit slower. And if you aren't seeing what I mean about this game, just like kind of taking inspiration and taking parts from other games, this is kind of what I mean by that. Like, this is just outright taking from a lot of games, but it's still a lot of fun. And I can't really complain about it that much because the game does extremely well. So it becomes one of those strange cases where, yeah, I guess the game is kind of a copycat, but it's also a really good copycat. So take that for what you will. And, you know, keep in mind that it's hard to resist the awesomeness of just riding a gigantic griffin mount. And I wish I could keep this. If I could keep this mount for the rest of the game, I would have been so happy. In fact, just stay with me. Just stay with me this time. We'll just stay here and do this course over and over again. I have 3,000 souls. When I started this, I had like 1,000. So, I think you can hopefully see what I mean about this being one of the best places to get souls in the early game. So we have plenty to be able to afford, and oh no, another giant bat. Or demon. Demon bat? And oh. Here we are. The first dungeon of the game.
Tiamat, I assume? Guess she wasn't up for having visitors today.
Well, Tiamat took our, angelic mount, and I'm sad about it. We're gonna have to chase her down and get that thing back. Because, let's be honest, who wouldn't keep that forever? But before you do that, there is a Vulgrim location here. Right here, in fact. And, well, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to him and buy a bunch of stuff. So let's just buy a bunch of level 1 stuff. There we go. That'll do.
What would you ask of this humble merchant?
Alright, so I got a bunch of new techniques, and that's pretty much it. So, if you want to see what the very first dungeon of the game looks like, the Twilight Cathedral, I'll have to see you in the next one. Oh no, bats!